Coach Simmons, I hope you, the family, and the Famu are well. First and foremost, congratulations on a winning season where your Rattlers made some noise on the NCAA national stage. Can you recap your season, sir?
Well, first off, it's an honor to be on once again and to talk about this 2021 football team. I couldn't be more proud of them for the adversity that they've had to overcome as a football team. Not playing football at all in 2020 took its toll on a lot of programs, and a lot of programs saw a negative effect from that decision. But all this team did was come out, win 9 games, become nationally ranked, and become an FCS playoff team for the first time in over 20 years. And so extremely proud of them. Obviously, the season didn't end the way that we had all hoped. But when we reflect on everything that we accomplished this season, we have nothing to hang our heads on. And again, I'm extremely proud to lead this phenomenal group of young men.
Coach, take us into the FCS playoff game at Southeastern Louisiana. What are your takeaways?
Well, obviously, when you get into playoff football, you're playing the best teams in America. And when you get to that small margin, little things really matter. And that's something that we talked to our football team about and tried to enforce it all week and paid much attention to it. But we got into the game and did some uncharacteristic things. Had some key drops in some situations that stalled drives. Had some miscommunications on defense that allowed some guys to run wide open, and had some mishaps in special teams. And so whenever you have those type of things go against you, especially playing on the road in a hostile environment, it's very tough to overcome. And unfortunately, we weren't able to overcome those mishaps, and it cost us the football game. But again, still proud of these guys. We have a great group of seniors that we'll lose, but we also have a nucleus of guys that will learn from this experience and come back even hungrier next year and hopefully exceed the success we had on the field this year in 2020.
Coach, a very successful season. You finished 9-3 overall, 7-1 in the Swac. Can you describe what it's like to continue marching to the pantheon of great FAMU coaches like William Bell, Jake Gaither, Rudy Hubbard, Billy Joe, Joe Taylor, and yourself, respectively?
Well, obviously, it means coming to work every single day and trying to get better, trying to find ways to improve as a program, and continue to push these young men forward. The common thread with all of those gentlemen that you named is that they develop young men who went on to be very successful in life, and that's our ultimate goal here at Florida A&M. And so as I reflect on this season, as I reflect on the young men that I've coached this year, it's about seeing them accomplish their lifelong goals, become professionals, become great husbands, great fathers, great community men, and that's the foundation of this program. And so, again, the guys that are exiting out of the program this year, my prayers that we've equipped them to take on the world. And the guys that are returning, that we continue that development, we bring some more talented guys into the fold, and that we continue to push this program to heights that we've seen before, and that we aspire to get back to here, sooner rather than later.
Now, Coach, we do have some videos we want to share with the audience to illustrate some of the success you had this season. The first video we will take a look at is the Fort Valley State game. Can you take us back into that contest, what it was like, and just give us an overview of that particular game?
Well, obviously, the Fort Valley State game was our first home game of the season, and we had not played in an entire year, so it felt great to be back in the confines of Brad Memorial Stadium. We finished the 2019 season undefeated at home, and we made it a mission to do the same this year, which we were able to. And so, again, a great game against a quality opponent. And, again, it gave us a chance to really allow Rashawn to kind of find himself. He didn't start the game, but he was able to come in right before halftime and lead us to victory. And he really grew up a lot during that game. And I think that propelled him to being a player that we could win with this year. So extremely proud of him, and really gave us our first home win, gave us some momentum, first win of the season, and our guys were able to grow from there.
Xavier Smith, talk about Smitty and what he was able to do against Fort Valley State University.
Well, Xavier came back into this season as our leading receiver, an All-American candidate, and a guy that we knew would have a profound impact on the effect of this offense. He struggled with some injuries this year, so it limited his effectiveness, but he still finished with, I think, 65 catches, over 700 yards, 3 touchdowns. Again, he's a special player. He's a guy that has a ton of ability. He's a legacy kid, loves Florida A&M. He's one of those guys that have been here for a very long time. And he's one that has a tough decision to make of whether he'll hang up his FAMU cleats for greener pastures at the next level, or whether he'll come back for his 6th year and try to finish his career off, as possibly the all-time lead receiver here at FAMU. So, special young man, extremely talented guy, and he's one that when he finally does hang it up, we'll miss him, his character, his attitude, just the way he approaches the game. And you don't get to coach a guy like Xavier Smith every day.
Coach, we will take a look at some tape of the Alabama State University Hornets as they went into Bragg. Take us into that particular contest and what your takeaways are from that game.
Well, again, our first conference game as members of the Southwestern Athletic Conference at home. Rattler Nation really showed up, and our student body showed why they're the best student body in America. We were able to go in and really dominate them from start to finish in all phases, offensively, defensively, and in the kicking game. And I think that was the game that really kind of showed this football team how good we were capable of being, and so it gave us a lot of confidence. Again, gave us a lot of momentum as we got into SWAC play, got that monkey off of our backs after losing the Jackson State game. And again, this football team really started to find this identity, running the football on offense, really being a dominant defense that got out to the quarterback, Isaiah Lamb, I think with 5 sacks that game, 3 or 5, one of those games where he had a ton of sacks and really jumped into the national scene. So again, it was a great experience, great environment, and it's one that will be one of the games we remember for a long time here on the Highest of 7 Hills.
Now, Coach Simmons, this next game that we will discuss is a former MEAC rival in the South Carolina State University Bulldogs with the dean, Coach Buddy Pugh. Take us back into that contest and what that was like. I'm hearing it was a very physical game. Take us back into the Bulldogs and the Rattlers on the Highest of 7 Hills.
Well, we know that South Carolina State's always been probably our toughest competition in the MEAC over the years. Obviously, FAMU had only beaten South Carolina State twice under Coach Pugh's tenure as head coach. So a lot of tough games, hard-fought games, but we hadn't had a lot of success. We won one on the road there in 2019. They're late. And we had a good idea that they'd probably be MEAC champs, which they ultimately became MEAC champs. And so for us to handily beat them the way we did, again, is just a great feat for this football team. You're talking about a team that beat the MEAC champ, a team that will play in the Celebration Bowl in convincing fashion. Isaiah Lamb, another huge game, created a lot of turnovers, were able to do a lot of good things on offense. And so, again, this team really started to come together at that midpoint during the season. And at that point, we really started to believe that we could become an at-large playoff team. So, again, just another great home game, another great environment. Rattler Nation really showed up and showed out again like they've done all season. And, again, it was just great to play at home again this season.
Now, Coach, we know how important homecoming is, and it can be in HBCU football and in the SWAC in particular. I can remember covering a game a few years ago before the pandemic. It was the Southern game at Florida A&M, but this year we were able to see the Grambling State University come into the Highest of 7 Hills. You're talking about 2 HBCU Blue Bloods. Let's take a look at that video, and Coach, give us a recap of the Grambling game, a game that so many fans were there to see. There were people even outside.
Yeah, again, you're talking about an amazing atmosphere. I've been a part of some big games here at FAMU, some phenomenal crowds, but this one took the cake. It was literally standing room only in the stadium, outside the stadium, on the sidelines even. Again, over 30,000 Rattlers packed in the Bragg Stadium for this homecoming, and we dubbed it an epic homecoming, and indeed it was. And again, you're talking about a Grambling team that had been a thorn in my side. I had not beaten them as a head coach. And so they and Bethune-Cookman were the 2 teams that I, had not beaten as a head coach. So it was great to, get a big win at home for homecoming, capped off an amazing week. of just festivities and parties and just Rattler Nation getting together and celebrating our epic return to the heights of Seven Hills after a year off because of the pandemic. And again, as you can see through the video, the atmosphere there was electric. Not many places in the country can match the atmosphere we had for homecoming this season.
Coach, you talk about the Florida Classic. It is one of the biggest HBCU football games annually in America. Your team defeated Bethune-Cookman University, snapping a 9-year losing streak. Take us back inside the Florida Classic and tell us what you think about that game.
Well, obviously the success that we had this season was all going to be riding on what happened in the Florida Classic. We were 8-2 going into the game. We had cracked the FCS top 25. A lot of people were saying, that we're a playoff caliber football team, but we knew without a win in the Florida Classic, it was all for naught. And so they were the last monkey off of my back, so to speak, because they were, again, the last team that I had not beaten as a head coach. And so our guys went in, first play of the game, we faced our adversity. They scored on the very first play. But at that point, our team took over, did what it had done all season, and really dominated the game in all three phases and got up to a comfortable 43-7 lead. Third quarter was as wild of a quarter as I've ever seen, scoring 3 times in 52 seconds, I believe. And again, just an electric atmosphere and environment. And Rattler Nation is still, excited after that win because, again, for 10 years, 9 games is a long time to lose to your in-state rival. And so we were able to finally get things right like they're supposed to be. And now we have bragging rights for another 300-plus days until we meet again. But, again, just, the attitude, the commitment, the excellence that these guys exuded all season is what I'm most proud of. All the adversity that they've had to overcome, the things that they had to endure, being a part of a docuseries where their every move was documented, was critiqued, and put on display for the world to see. And I thought they represented FAMU in a first-class manner. I think they opened a lot of eyes to what happens here on the heights of Seven Hills and what our possibilities are as a program and institution. And again, just an amazing year overall. Obviously, the season didn't end the way we had all hoped. But when we look back on it, we'll be extremely proud of the accomplishments that we made on the football field, off the field, in the classroom, and all around. And this program is definitely trending in the right direction.
Coach, your football program moves from the MEAC to the Swac. Can you discuss what that experience was like to return to a conference you were very familiar with?
Well, it was an exciting year. We knew that we'd get everyone's best shot. Coming into the conference, Rattler Nation definitely wrote a lot of checks that we had to cash on the football field. And aside from a 1-point loss the first game of the season down in Miami, we were able to do that. We had some convincing wins. We had some tough wins, games we had to come from behind on the road. But this team showed perseverance. They showed resiliency. They showed our 7 F's, the first one being faith. And so, again, just extremely proud of these guys. Some amazing atmospheres, going over to Southern, playing them on their home turf, traveling up to Alabama A&M, going to the Delta up there in Mississippi, which is never easy to play, and traveling all the way to even Arkansas Pine Bluff, being able to go by Little Rock Central High School, and just the history that we're able to enjoy being a part of the Southwestern Athletic Conference is something that we're very, very excited about. And so we look forward to this continued partnership. We think the SWAC is, again, entering a new era of excellence with the football teams and the programs that are a part of it. And we're looking forward to seeing what's in store. But all in all, we're very happy about the move. And again, we can't wait to see what tomorrow brings.
Coach, black college football has been around since the 1800s. In closing, HBCU football is shining due to the renewed spotlight. What are your thoughts on HBCU football heading into the Celebration Bowl and the 2022 season?
I think this is an exciting time. There's never been a better time to attend an HBCU. Top tier, top flight student athletes are serious about considering HBCUs. They're visiting our campuses. They're coming to games. They're doing their research online. And they're really entertaining the idea of bringing their talents to these phenomenal institutions. And we're excited to be a part of it. We feel like we're trailblazers here at Florida A&M. We like to say we're the school of first for many reasons. And again, the national spotlight that we're bringing to HBCUs is something that I think will only help all of us. What Coach Prime has been able to do there at Jackson State, bringing awareness to a lot of issues that we've faced over the years as HBCUs, is great for our respective schools. A guy like Eddie George up at Tennessee State, and again, the success that we've all enjoyed on the football field, and even us making the FCS playoffs this year, even though we didn't, take care of business on the football field. I think just the fact that we were able to be invited as an at-large team to get the national recognition from, that we deserve is something that, again, speaks to the level of commitment to HBCUs and the awareness that I think the nation is starting to take, for as far as our respective programs. So, again, never been a better time to attend an HBCU. We're all in this thing together. Again, I'm looking forward to seeing what's on the horizon for all these programs. And the SWAC, the MEAC, and even the HBCUs that are not a part of these conferences are in very good hands under the leadership of the respective presidents and chancellors and athletic directors, and a phenomenal group of coaches who are committed to doing what we've done for years, which is develop these young men, prepare them for life after football. And again, you'll continue to see us, have a profound impact on this economy, on this country, and on the overall well-being of mankind, because that's our ultimate mission as head coaches and leaders of our respective programs.
Coach, in closing, what are your final words for Rattlers Nation and the HBCU football nation across America?
Well, again, just so excited to be a part of Rattler Nation. I truly believe we have the best fans in America. They're loyal. They love this program. They love the school. They love these young men, and that's what it's all about. And so, we're not done. Our work really has just begun. The national spotlight that we've created for ourselves is only the beginning, the tip of the iceberg. And we truly believe that we have the ability, the capability to be the best program in FCS football. But it's going to take a committed effort from us as coaches, our support staff, our student athletes, our athletic administration, our university administration, and Rattler Nation. Again, because to build that type of program, you have to have total buy-in across the board. And that's something that I'm looking forward to. I've had many talks with my vice president and athletics director, Courtney Gaucher, and our president, Dr. Larry Robinson, about what it's going to take to get us to that next level. Winning 9 games, being a playoff team is nice. But again, Florida A&M is a team that expects to win championships, and that means national championships. And again, we have the ability to do that here, but it's going to take continued work, continued commitment, and sacrifice from everyone involved. And I'm just excited and blessed to be a part of what we're going here on the Heights of Seven Hills.
Coach Willie Simmons and the Famu Rattlers finished the 2021 season in the FCS playoffs. The Rattlers are now moving forward as they gear up for their annual spring game at Bragg Memorial Stadium. Thank you, Coach Simmons. I'm James Hill. You're watching BNC Sports. We'll be right back.